high knees, this can work wonders with these people. Basically, you're concentrating on faster foot strike. Now, when you say faster foot strike, it is not harder foot strike. You're not going to hit the ground harder. You're trying to keep the feet on the ground for a very short time and more on the air. So you're moving it up and down. If you look at the Kenyans or the really elite athletes running, right, it's almost like they're floating on the thin air over there. The time in all the running motion, the time that the feet actually touches the ground is very, very less. And the heel almost never touches the ground. It's very tough to see the heel actually touch the ground. So they're here, by the time the heel moves on, they have to move on to the lift off, right? Before the heel touches the ground, they move on to the lift off. So this is the foot strike part. So you're trying to do it, but you're standing almost in the same position. You do faster foot strike and you move slowly ahead. The goal is not to get to the point faster, but to move your feet faster and go slowly to the other point. But you won't do this for the same distance as the other drills. These drills, the first 5 drills, we do for about 25-30 meters. And the last one, the high knees, we do it only for about 15 meters or so. Because it is kind of heavy, for your cardio. So, and one thing people typically do is they don't raise their legs as much. Now you ask them to do it higher. It also helps in increasing stride length. It works on your striding motion. So the faster foot strike, striding, and better running efficiency. That's what this concept is. So if you were to do it, you could also do it in the same position. So one thing I've told people is keep your hands so that you make sure you bring the knees that high. Right? So you keep hitting this. So this is not a necessary thing, but for people to get an idea of keeping their knees high. Okay, so you do this. Then you slowly start moving. Again, one thing that people tend to do is kind of tilt back when they're doing this. That should be avoided. Try and keep a straight flow. We do it typically at the end of the 6 days. It takes quite a bit. And also, if you do it right, it's really interesting how it happens. Let's say you do a lap and then you do a high knees. Like you do a warm-up lap, do the high knees, and ask them to move into the striding motion right from the high knees. You'll see a marked difference. They're already kind of firing up their fast twitch muscles. Fast twitch muscles are the muscles or fibers that you activate while doing a sprints or really fast striding and stretches. For the typically longer distance runners, you don't activate it that easily. Once in a while, by doing these things, you remember how to run fast. And these high knees work on those things. So any questions on that one?
Drills overall, just do it once a week?
Yeah.
So why is that so?
See, these things are working on the form, and it can be a bit tiring also. We rub it with the quality workout, and they have to be done right. It's like this, if they do it wrong, they can injure themselves doing it. I know there used to be a drill, and they put a lot of effort over different drills, and I get help from rope training. They used to do this drill called a butt kick. They would do this. Okay, so they would just make sure your heel hits the butt. If you don't do it right, you can actually injure your knee. So you have to be really careful doing it. And they found that a lot of people were not doing it right, and they're injuring themselves. They took the drill out. And it's a key component to learn the drills properly under some situation.
So in 4 weeks, because they've got 4 weeks to train. 8 weeks to train.
Yeah.
So in 8 such drills, it should be good enough. What do you think?
There will surely be some change. Now, you can only go by an average. There are folks who might miss out a lot of workouts who might not be doing it. When you are addressing, it happens in a classroom setting. Not everyone gets it the first time itself. You have to keep repeating it. And that's where you folks would play a role. If you're going to be the coach, you see them every week. You're going to do the drills every week. You don't stop explaining it after the first week itself or the second week. Keep going over it as in how to do it so that they understand how to do it. Only when you reach a point that they are comfortable towards the 6th week or something, then you don't have to do it. Right? And there are always going to be people who are probably not doing it right. So you keep watching them. One key thing which I didn't do, and I want you folks to do, is that when you were doing the drills, I used to do the drills with you. I shouldn't have done that. What you should stand and watch. Don't do the drills. See them watch. Some groups can be bigger. Okay, they can be like 20-25 people, and watch them all do it together when we talk. So make them arrange themselves in like a matrix. So 5 in a row and multiple rows. Start with the first row. Give time for yourself to see them, to watch them. Then start the second row. So you say you stand here. You say first group start. Then you see them do it. Then say second group start. And so on. Okay. If there are 2 of you, it works much better. The person who is here who is saying start waits for the other person who is standing there and can see the group going. Right? So you say start, wait for a few minutes, and then say the second group. So that's the thing with the group.